Hi all, my name is VK, and for the past 12 months, I've made around just above $20,000 in selling digital products. These digital products are spreadsheets, whether these can be done in Google Sheets and Excel. And I've really noticed that a lot of people on YouTube really kind of trying to sell that as a one of the products that you can really monetize significantly fast and essentially would give you extremely high margins. There is obviously the background for it. I'm not gonna lie to you. So this is my story, and I've done this in a slightly different way. So back in 2022, I was head of business development and slash CFO of one of the electronic money institution businesses, fintech business located here in London, and we are developing creating a digital bank, business to business transactions, kind of overseas transactions, and signing contracts with multiple US banks, European banks. But one of the features, obviously, as a part of the fintech, you need to raise capital. And the company, the fintech, has been backed by the venture capital firms, and essentially we were getting ready for the second round of investments. And this is where I've been handled financial model to work around with the CEO, and and really this is where I've seen the Excel to cover and having the whole different scenario analysis, the forecasts, how we on the basis of the business model, how we depending on the client, depending on how many clients would we sign up. So essentially, it was built, it was made tailored towards the business. So um, fast forward around 12 months, I've decided that I can, I've started to, throughout this period, I was deep diving into the financial models. And, by the means of having an extra couple of courses that I've done for the Excel, for the financial planning and analysis. This in particular can be done and in the CFI, so which is Corporate Finance Institute, so just to increase the understanding of of kind of financial background of accounting principles. This is where it really to cover. And at that point, essentially, I can really tell you right now that to start I mean, with digital templates such as Google Sheets and Excel, there are there are ways you can monetize them. So in my case, actually, given that all they have been through developing financial models for the fintechs and going through different financial certifications, I've decided to go freelancing. And the freelancing was two options. Obviously, the most popular platforms are Fiverr, and you also have the Upwork, which are, no, they are massive. I've registered in both. Both were, in terms of the registration, it's seamless, but they're slightly different in terms of the way you apply for the jobs. And maybe in the next video, I'll tell you more exactly how to do that. But the business in Fiverr, my gig in Fiverr, actually really took cover. And it took cover quite well in the sense that I was able to have quite significant amount of clients. That's number one. I started to obviously to rely completely in terms of the freelancing on Fiverr. Although one of my first jobs was actually on Upwork, where I was working also with a fintech in the US who was working on personal budgeting planning tool, and obviously they needed my kind of financial and personal finance background and build specific algorithms and logics and in Google Sheets. So the Fiverr side really to cover, and over the probably next 12 months, over the next throughout 2020, end of 2022, 2023, and obviously 2024, we are right now, it really to cover, I mean, the the initial phase was exciting. I was getting quite a lot of orders. I mean, and given that obviously I'm based in London, I cannot go for the very, with all due respect, you can have freelancers where depending on geographical locations. But in my case, it was really the point where I need to actually increase the cost of my services because number one, I live in the UK, I live in London. There are conversion fees, there are commissions from Fiverr and Upwork. Well, in this particular case, was in Fiverr. So I've probably done over right now almost 60 different gigs. I mean, obviously, the average cost per gig was around $300 per model because I was doing predominantly personal budget planners for resale, and this is I've done personal budget planners, investment trackers, crypto trackers, with live prices, bookkeeping models. I mean, you name it. I'll show you. We can jump to an Etsy, or you can actually. And the reason is, I think a lot of people jumped into the point where this is a great model. This is where I want to sell. And the thing is, yes, you can sell them, and this is one of the important things to understand. But the idea behind is right now the market is actually quite competitive. I'll be honest with you. And to sell them, my personal view, you need to have a few things if you want to really. So number one, it's much easier if you have an audience, and this audience is actually personal finance, budgeting. If you're looking for the personal finance, that's perfect. If you have already an audience, this is the digital product that you can easily sell and monetize within your community, within your. If you don't have, you have you'll have to. And I had businesses which at second stage of my Fiverr gigs when I was completely tired of the conversions. I had money. I didn't have many, but I have literally just a few bad experiences with Fiverr in terms of the clients, but just really a few of them out of all the gigs. And essentially, at some point, although I'll be honest with you, it's probably not good to say that, but I was tired of Fiverr and I was tired of the commissions. I was tired of them having my money for that. I think it was 14 days. So I've started to actually to offer an opportunity for the clients to work directly with me, not just on Fiverr. And this actually worked quite well. I found, and I've developed great relationships with many clients. So in total, as I said, although I do have about 60 orders, 60 gigs completed, predominantly my second half of the fire was a direct work with the clients, and which I really appreciated. And as I said, I've probably built probably more than 200 plus personalized budget planners for different people. And bear in mind, you need to understand that you're doing different layouts, you have different functions. Some will follow because some would just come to me and say, you know what, this is a template which I really like, and the person found on Etsy because that person has thousands of sales of that template, and can you copy? Well, I said I cannot. I mean, yes, I can, but I need to make something different for you. So with the same level of features, yet it has to be different. And yeah, I mean, as I said, it's against actually Fiverr policies, but to take the clients out, and there is obviously the risk from both sides. But at the same time, some clients would be able to pay me completely for the full service. Another half would be paid 50-50, so we would split. But it would be, for me personally, it was much better. Actually, I'm sorry, Fiverr, but that's for me the best experience. But what I want to say with all this experience that I went through the financial model, the business financial modeling, and again, I had some most of the people would still be personalized budget planners and trackers and templates. I had quite a few businesses approaching me as well. I had a lot of people even trying to be financial coaches, whether they are from the US, United Kingdom, UK, where I am, Canada, France, Australia. So I had people all over the globe. So again, this has been a fantastic experience. I'm not gonna lie to you, but the idea is what I've seen right now is obviously when you sell digital products. I haven't tried. I don't. So I've considered actually going through Etsy, and I think I've considered going through the point of, but and I've tried. I'm not gonna. I've tried Etsy at the beginning, and I'm sorry. I had a terrible experience with this. There is a competition. There is a consistent price going. You know, price point where yes, digital products, but yet you need to have time to develop them, and the cost of selling them for £10 or $15 max does not sound quite appealing, given that this is, this is the selling price, but then you have also the Etsy fees, and then I think there is a lot of discussion where Etsy can hold your money, can hold your funds for like something like, I can't remember, 45 days or something like this. So essentially, for me, that was not a great kind of experience at the beginning when I started doing this. So that's why I switched to the freelancing. But now, what I will do and I will try to consider is that I may create a course, like something like Google Sheets, Excel course for personal finance and budgeting, and ultimately the business side as well. But the idea is if you really want to sell them um, digital planners, that's my personal view. Maybe there is something I need to try. Maybe if you look and seeing this video right now, maybe you can suggest me what's your what your experience with Etsy. But freelancing was good, because I've gained a lot of experience again with different approaches. As a 200 plus models, budget planners, including for the business. And as I said, given that there is so many I'm not say gurus, but people who say do the Etsy research, and they say to you, okay, budget planners, budget templates are good. I think, as I said, I would not probably recommend Etsy. If you have a following in personal finance, do that. Second of all, first of all, second of all, if you think that you can develop and grow a business out of this, perfect. That's really good. But just don't think that one budget planner, budget template will help you to develop the business. You need to have at least, 10, 15 budget planners, and then you can create different color variation for those. So you can have maybe around 40 to 60 products. That's second. And then you need to spend money on the essentially on the marketing, on the ads. And third, I think that's probably where, if you feel like you do like the Google Sheets, Excel, spreadsheets, for many kind of reasons, maybe you're using exactly for the personal finance, then perfect. I mean, that's something that really is for you. Then I suggest you to get the skill, that skill acquired, and you can apply that skill maybe your daily work. Maybe you want, again, maybe you want to apply for some kind of financial planning analysis roles. um, it's worth it. It's really, really worth it. But again, and you can keep on doing some kind of blogging on the side, but you can drive the traffic towards your website, towards your blog, where you can actually sell these budget planners, maybe the newsletter as well. So that's how it actually is. So I think I've summarized in three ways. Number one, I do strongly believe that actually having a following already, social media following, can help you really well. That's if you have a significantly large following list, perfect. Newsletter, fantastic. That's something that you can explore in whether if you are in personal finance, budgeting, even business finance, whatever you're doing with that. Second of all, if you think that you want to develop and grow a business, but then prepare to invest, for example, and work with people, for example, like me, if someone wants AI, can create those for you. And third, if you really want to acquire the specific skill and use it for your kind of experience, knowledge building, and maybe for the future career, and just on the side hustle, do the blog, drive traffic, and see if it works out. That's probably quite well. Another thing, as I said, ultimately when you acquire the skill, you can create, you can like creativity, imagination is like sky's the limit. You can create a course, and that's something I'm actually considering right now. But what I want to do just quickly again jump into the, for example, just a couple of examples of the model which I've made, and then I'll jump to the Etsy, just to show you what exactly I meant by this. So it's not necessarily just the easiest way to actually to monetize. So let's do that. Okay, so okay, here we are. So I'm not gonna like bother you with the work which I've done and the way that I've decided to create specific templates, but this is just an example. For example, this is a simple 50, 30, 20 budget planner, which typically you can either sell on Etsy, you can resell, you can use for personal finance blog. And you can see that there is like parts of the income, top expenses, needs, wants, savings. You can complete the color scheme. This is very basic one template. There are many other where you have savings, where you have net worth, debt management, where you have smart calendars, where you have annual budget, annual actuals as well. So you can actually really customize this. You can have something like this, which is like comparison dashboard. You can select any month within a year and then can we compare what exactly has been happening, and you can compare to month. You have a transaction tracker with dependent drop down menu. So that's sometimes it's really takes time to create those, and when it comes to the to creating these, that's why we charge on average completely annual for those who know more or who understand a bit more, something like a complete annual budget planner with all the um, all the tabs in terms of, like I said, debt management, net worth, savings, um, all those extra parts probably cost around $350. And this is just one model, which I would do. And the reason is, this is again, sorry, but that's the narrative and this is the truth. If you're good at marketing, you have the following to whom to sell, you're going to be easily recover your return on investment. But if you think that you're going to be creating a business, which are going to bring you passively thousands per month, even hundreds. I'm sorry to say that just with one model, that's unrealistic. And I'm really sorry. It's not to discourage you. I think it's a fantastic way to have a side hustle and to understand how things work. But nevertheless, it's really given the competitiveness of these models right now, it's extremely high, and something like the marketplaces like Etsy going to be driving the prices down. It's not kind of the best. So so look, I'm not gonna jump probably right now to Etsy anymore. I think you've seen what I was talking to in terms of and I have, as I said, I have done 200 plus different models. I have my own base models which I try to follow. I try to like I follow, I implement different changes, try to push different designs, different features, what's currently is working, what's not. But nevertheless, I really wanted to share with you this side of how I actually made 20 plus K of selling digital templates, in particular Google Sheets and Excel. Bear in mind, it's a great skill to have, and I think that's something that you can apply these type of skills in business, in financial planning and analysis. You don't have to sell just the templates. Remember that in consultancy, and you can actually charge much more than that. That's my review. I'm not saying that I may consider giving the channel is going to be about the digital products and how to sell digital products. I may run through a couple of something like the blog. I don't think I'm going to do Etsy shop, as I said. I don't think it's but I really kind of I've tried and I've done some blogs and e-commerce in the past. They've done quite well as well, out of curiosity, but this is something new, and I know I have a couple of products which I can market, and I think I can definitely write some content
Um, so I think it's going to be exciting. So look, if you think that that's something you're interested in, and you think that you still want to push for the business, then do comment below, get in touch with me. I'll see what I can help you with. But otherwise, if you think my always kind of my main suggestion would be go to learn the skill, and you can do this for the different courses. You don't have to, you may have to pay some money, but that skill remains with you, and you can apply that skill for much greater goods and much greater benefits rather than just selling digital products. And that's I'm not being negative, such a sorry for being such a negative person in Etsy, but it's doable. But as I said, it's not just with one model that you're gonna be building a empire of budget planner templates for the to sell and to make hundreds, and obviously if you think about thousands of kind of dollars or pounds in revenue very soon. So again, that's just my perspective. But if you really like this, as I said, I will be one thing I will do is I said I will be developing a course. Comment below if you really want some more information about the course, because that's something I'm quite keen to do actually, and to teach how to create something like this. There's a lot of backend formulas. So yes, look, once again, thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next one.